One of the things we start off with, as we talked about early on, situational awareness. Just being oblivious to the world. So many times we get caught up in the ruts of everyday life, or we're in a hurry to go here or to go there. What we do is we end up going into this auditory exclusion, this tunnel vision, where we're not paying attention to the peripheral, not even seeing what potential threats are there. For instance, if I'm going to run out of gas, do I wait to get gas when I'm running out, or do I go ahead and get gas well in advance to prepare for that potential crisis? Do I pull into a shady or an unknown environment and potentially becoming a victim? That's part of situational awareness. Then we talk about crisis. Everybody's crisis is a little bit different. My crisis as a law enforcement professional has certainly allowed me, or unfortunately, seen some bad things. So my crisis is probably not the same as a typical person. Then we talk about the heart rate, where our heart rate goes. What happens during that crisis mode? Do we have this monotoned heart rate at 75 beats per minute, and then when crisis hits, it starts to elevate? What happens to us? And how do we react? Do we become a real good analytical thinker at that point? So we talk a little bit about that. We talk about action versus reaction. Being in front of something as opposed to reacting to something. The reaction is always going to be on the losing side of this. So I think it's important for us to recognize that the more proactive that you can be, the better chances of success you're going to have. And then we talk about some other psychological, analytical things that happen with the human body based upon some of our researchers that we have on staff have given us the opportunity to really dig deep into some of the psychological aspects of not only the would-be victim, but also the suspects that are out there as well too. So we typically knock out what we're talking about in an educational component in about an hour-and-a-half session, to where we really dive into some of those ins and outs. And then we afford questions and answer in a period of time. And then we have a lot of off-the-cuff conversations after the event. And we find, typically, tragedy has struck in somebody in those seminars, in those conferences. And what they share with us is enlightening. And we actually, believe it or not, we actually take a lot back from our clients that we engage with on a regular basis as well too, about what they have been involved with and what they have seen. So from an educational standpoint, we are cramming probably 6 months worth of information from a statistical, data-based events that have happened in an hour and a half for people to really try to get a good understanding of where our world is and what we need to do in order to have success. And obviously our mantra is protecting America one community at a time is really what we want to do, and that's what we pride ourselves on.